Hey YouTube, today I've taken a trip down to 100 Acre Wood as we're taking a look at the LEGO Ideas Winnie the Pooh set. Hey guys, and welcome to Brick Talk TV. Terry here, and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at this LEGO Ideas Winnie the Pooh set. This set came out in March 2021 and the set has 1,265 parts spread over 7 sets of bags. It retails for £89.99 in the UK and can be found under set number 21326. This set is part of the LEGO Ideas range, which does mean it was a LEGO fan design originally, and it was created by Ben Older. The designer for this set originally built it for his children, and it was such a hit with them that he decided to submit the model into the designer program. As you can see here from the original submission, the LEGO designers did make some changes to the appearance of his original design, but not a huge amount, and for me mainly it's the minifigures and the colours used in the set that have changed. I also did a live stream of this build recently as well, so I'll stick a card up here and a link in the description below in case you're interested to see how the build comes to life. And just a reminder to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, just in order for the channel to grow further. So let's take a closer look now at the set itself. So this set does contain 5 minifigures, and those are unwrapped in the first few bags. First up you get the star of the show, which is Winnie the Pooh of course, and then you get Piglet with him. You also then uncover Rabbit, Tigger and Eeyore. So let's take a closer look at the minifigures themselves. So first up, as I mentioned, you've got Winnie the Pooh himself. So he's featured with a nice big red balloon as part of his minifigure accessories. So you've got a nice pole here with some round bricks on top to depict a balloon. He has sort of orangey legs, or sort of dark yellow legs if you like, but he does have a printed torso on the front and on the back, where you can see that his shirt is way too small for him because he's been eating too much honey. So as usual, his stomach is sort of showing through his torso. At the top you've got a fully moulded head. I think the look of the head is pretty good. There's a couple of sharp edges, probably his nose looks particularly pointy, but I think the overall look of Winnie the Pooh is fairly recognisable as Winnie the Pooh, and they've got some nice details of his eyes, and his nose is printed quite well, and there's no errors with the printing on the head at all. So that's Winnie the Pooh. Then, as I mentioned, you get Piglet as well as the next figure. So Piglet is all pink, obviously, because he's a pig, but he does have the slightly shorter minifigure legs, almost like the children minifigures you'd get in a normal city range, because of course he's Piglet and he is smaller than the others. He also has these usual dark pink and sort of pink striped top that you'll know him from. He's wearing a scarf, so he's got the minifigure accessory of a scarf because he's usually pretty cold all the time. And again, he's got a fully moulded head, so these ears are all moulded into the head itself, they're not separate. And again, a nice bit of printing going on. Around the back, he's got the continuation printing of his jumper, but there's no other sort of printing going on there at all. So that's Piglet. Then we'll take a look at Tigger. So Tigger was quite different from the original, as you saw in the picture earlier. I think he was mainly brick built, the same as Eeyore, but they've actually done a proper minifigure for Tigger this time. He's got some prints on his front there, on his legs, where he's got some of his tiger stripes coming through on his orange legs. That continues through the torso and the arms, where he does also have his stomach. And then around the back, he's got a continuation of the printing on the back of his torso. And you do add in this tail section here. So he has got an orange striped tail coming out of his bum there as well. Again, he's got a fully moulded head. So all of this is one piece. There's no separate pieces to add here. And the printing, again, the detail is really good. You've got these sort of scribbles to make the stripes on his head. The eyes and nose look really good. No mistakes there at all. And he's carrying this handkerchief over his shoulder, probably because he's off on his next adventure in 100 Acre Wood. Then you've got Rabbit situated here at the back. Oh, if I've knocked Tigger over, let's just put Tigger back. So then you've got Rabbit at the back here, so sort of a pale yellow colour this time. Normal pale legs, there's no prints on the legs, but you do get the print of the torso at the front with his white stomach. And if you look around the back, he's got the white tail there as well, showing through. Again, a fully moulded head with some really good prints on there for the ear colour and the nose and the eyes. And he's got a standard minifigure carrot here with a stem stuck in top for his carrot that he's holding there as well. Then finally, the minifigure in here, we've actually got Eeyore. So this is a completely moulded piece here. You don't have to do any construction to get the main minifigure here into one piece, but you do add this addition of the bow at the end. So there's a little hole here where you stick a normal bow accessory from a minifigure into his tail, which of course you remember that his tail is nailed on in the cartoon or in the books as well. So that's a really good minifigure, and he's sat there sitting on his bum, just looking sorry for himself as usual. And those are the minifigures that you get inside the set. And of course there are some additional little mini builds as well. So if you think back to the Flintstones Ideas set, where they had a post box outside their house. Here you actually get the 100 acre sign instead. So this is positioned on a heart-shaped green piece. And then you've got this sort of post built out of a couple of barrel pieces. And then these tiles are used then to depict a 100 acre sign. So you can position this outside. These are actually stickers on the front here of these tiles to do the sign. But there is a honey pot there that is printed. So there's no stickers for the honey pot. And on top it's topped off with a wood effect tile, again, which is printed. And you don't have to stick any stickers there. So that's the sign which you can position. And then also inside, if you got the bookstore earlier in the year as the modular last year, then you'll also be familiar with this, where that set had a Moby Dick printed piece. Here we've got a Winnie the Pooh book, but these are actually stickers that you stick on the front here. So you've got a silhouette of Winnie the Pooh with a honey pot on the front, and then when you open up, you put a white tile inside for the pages, and again you stick a white sticker with Winnie the Pooh holding a red balloon, which is obviously mimicking what he's got in terms of the minifigure. So those are the minifigures and sort of main mini builds. Let's jump in now and take a closer look at the detail of the set itself. So the set itself then is not a huge set, but it's got quite a lot of detail and some interesting techniques buried inside it. So if we start around the front here, you've got a nice technique used to build a log here where you can actually position a minifigure. There's a couple of studs there where you can sit some on top. And that's positioned in front of or behind just a fire piece here, which is just a crisscross piece that you stick together and put some flames on. And then you've got some nice details of some mushrooms here made on some cone pieces, which is great. And just behind here, behind the log, you've got some honey pots because, of course, Winnie the Pooh can't go too far without having some honey. You've got these mounds either side of the doorway here, which are built up using, throughout the build actually, quite a few times, different parts to build this mound. But you do have these tricky transparent pieces where these leaves are affixed, and sometimes I do hit them and knock off the leaves, so they can be a little fiddly, so just be careful of those. And as we get through here to the front doorway that comes out of this sort of mound, you can see that it's a brick built door, again similar to the Flintstones ideas build, but there's a nice detail here of a sort of bell that you can ring to get Winnie the Pooh's attention for him to come and answer the door. While we're on the front, let's sort of move up the front top here. Of course, you can't ignore this massive tree that's at the top. There's a nice, actually a new piece that I've not used before to get these sort of twigs and leaves going on here, which works really well in terms of connecting them. And you can position these branches any way you like now, which is quite nice. You can position them to make them look bigger or smaller, depending on your preference. And of course, you can't miss the addition of a nice, well, there's two bees' nests up here as well. So they've used this you might have used this piece in the roller coaster as the pink candy floss. And it's used in other sets for different purposes, but here we're using it as a beehive. So nice yellow beehive, and you've got or bee's nest, and you've got these transparent pieces of bees, which actually does rotate if you wanted to spin the bees round. And the same on this level as well. So there's 4 bees on each nest, and they're floating around collecting the honey, and they're busy for that. And so this takes up quite a lot. And then if we spin this round and we take a look at the detail at the back, this is where you can actually start getting into Winnie the Pooh's house. And as you notice on the side here, we've got an addition of a snail, which is a nice little touch. There's a little bracket piece with a cherry piece stuck on the front for the antennae for the snail, with a little chocolate piece, which you might like an ice cream or a dog poo if you've used it in other sets, stuck on the back to signify the shell. If you look at the back of this and you see Winnie the Pooh's house, you can see you've got some really vibrant colours used for the roof. And I think the whole thing, the way they've changed the colours here, really does give you the idea that this is a cartoon, because the colours are quite vibrant and bright. And where they have used similar colours, they've kind of done a really good contrasting colour. So this roof is mixed with browns and reds and dark orange colours to really make it stand out. Then as you go around the back, you've got some nice windows as well. You've got 3 sets of windows on each side, and then the roof is nicely slated. And on this side, you do have this addition of a chimney sticking out from Winnie the Pooh's stove. Then if you want to dive into the house, the house splits up like this to expose more details. So then on this side, you've got a place where Winnie the Pooh can sit near his stove, again with the chimney coming up through the roof, which comes out the top. You've got a little table there with a pot of honey and a sort of a mug for a cup of tea. There's a little picture of some bees in the background there, and a nice brick-built armchair for Winnie the Pooh to rest on. Also up the top here in the attic, you can see a box full of branches which has Pooh sticks written on it. So I'm sure that most children, or even adults that were children, have used Pooh sticks in their life. So we've got a little nod to any childhood memories around Pooh sticks there. Then if we look over on this side, you've got Winnie the Pooh's bed. So again, a nice little construction, made out some candlesticks and some other pieces I've not used before. And you've also, both sides actually, you've got some nice curtains that are brick built again, with a sort of a mid azure blue looking colour. And again, in the loft on this side, you've got some pots of honey that Winnie the Pooh has stashed away in the loft, maybe for eating at a later date. Then if you look into this middle part here, this is the entranceway to Winnie the Pooh's house. This is the back of the door here, and we can open up the door so you can see through to the outside. But there's a little cabinet here, again with a teapot on with a mug. There's a little umbrella stand on this side, and then there's a mirror, again, which is tile built with some stickers on. And then on this side, which you can't really see, is a picture with the 100 Acre Wood stickered on, so you can see over that. So that's the detail of Winnie the Pooh's house. And it closes up just like that, again, and it clips in, just similar to the Flintstones house, again, the way that you can open it up at the back. Those are the details of the set. So overall, this set wasn't an immediate appeal to me when I saw it come out, but Winnie the Pooh was a childhood character, and one which I had as a teddy bear when I was a child. So the chance to actually get hold of the minifigures actually persuaded me in order to buy the set. And I must say I wasn't disappointed with the build. The set isn't massive, as I've already said, but it does pack sufficient detail in order to keep my interest during the build. And the bed building and the stove building with the chimney coming out of the roof were a particular highlight for me, as well as the roof technique, which I've actually used previously in some mocks that I've built. It contained a new element, at least in terms of my building experience, as I mentioned. So to help to create the branches and the foliage at the top, it was nice to be introduced to this new part at the top, and interested to see the technique they used to build out the top of the tree. It also gives you that ability, as I mentioned, to position the branches in all different ways, just to make the tree look really bushy and really stand out, so you don't really get any gaps at the front. So if you have room in your Lego room and you're a fan of Winnie the Pooh, then don't delay and grab a copy of this set, because you won't be disappointed. If you found this review helpful, do hit that like button and hit the subscribe button with the bell notification turned on to help the channel grow, and it also helps us get more viewers. And you'll be notified of future Lego idea reviews we'll be doing in the future, so stay tuned. We'll be looking at the typewriter in the future as well, so just keep an eye out for that. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then.